the touchdown. Like, it's going to take the touchdown away, and they're going to be focused on the fumble if we lose. But we won anyway, man. It was a good day.
Well, what happened at Auburn? Because you were named the starting running back at one point, and then
Yeah.
you leave. What was the story behind that?
So I basically was named a starter. And we had played in that game that season. The first game of the season, we played Louisville in the Chick-fil-A Bowl. I think it was a Chick-fil-A game or something like that, the kickoff game. And I had injured my foot that game, and I didn't think it was like anything serious. And I stayed in the game, and I just really couldn't run. So I came out. We went and got an X-ray and all this stuff, and like we didn't see anything at first. Then I ended up having plantar fasciitis in my I think it was my left foot, or I'm not even sure, but it just kind of slowed me down a ton, dude. Like my first, probably like those first 2 3 months of it, and I don't know. I think I guess they felt like they should kind of try to look other ways and try to find like different guys or whatever. And they really weren't more focused on me anymore. And that's when we kind of started to, I guess, I don't know, I guess they fall off. Because I just felt like they really didn't believe in me anymore. And it got to a point where, dude, I was just crushing and I was going crazy. Like I had gotten back healthy and I was doing really good. I had got my weight up. I was like 210, 212, and I was fast still. I was probably faster than I was when I weighed like 190. So like they were back feeling good about me, and they had um gotten to a comfortable place with me again, like in the season, but then they still weren't playing me. And it bothered me, but at the same time, I was already like, I wasn't new to the not playing game. Like, cause I mean, obviously, there's games where I haven't played. There's been people that's played before me. Definitely my freshman year, I had to wait in line behind Corey Grant, Cam Marks Payne. But it basically had just gotten to a point where they were like still wanting me in, but they were still like wanting other guys in at the same time, and they just didn't. To me, they just didn't know how to do it yet. I feel like they do it better now. They just didn't know how to put all the playmakers on the field, and they tried to like mesh me into playing slot receiver, and I had no problem with it. I was like, I'll definitely play slot receiver, but they were like kind of on the timing of not playing running back anymore. And I was just like, no, I was like, I still want to play running back. I was like, I'm a running back. But I was also not opposed to doing whatever it took to make the team better. So it really got to everything was really just like a ripple effect. Once they put me at receiver, they didn't know how to use me at receiver, and like it was to a point where I was just running routes, being like a decoy and stuff like that. Um and I knew the playbook well, so I always knew like in Gus Malzahn's offense, there's always like a decoy. There's a guy who the ball's supposed to go to. There's a guy who's supposed to throw the ball to him, definitely. And you know he does some freaky stuff like he'll have running backs throwing the ball and stuff like that. And it just became, like I said, a ripple effect. And I ended up having like a meeting with Rhett Lashley and Coach Horton. Who else was it? Damian Craig. I had meetings with like all of them because I had told them like basically like I think I should transfer if we can't find like something that fits for me. You know what I'm saying? And Coach Craig had agreed with me because he knew he was gonna leave. Coach Horton, he didn't want me to leave. Coach Lashley didn't want me to leave. But the killer was when I talked to Coach Malzahn, um, he was just kind of like nonchalant about it. And that's kind of his demeanor, but he necessarily doesn't mean for it to come off that way because he's so business minded and I think his mind is always running 100 miles a minute because he's so creative. And he had just basically told me, he was like, if you want to go somewhere, like he's like, we'll find somewhere for you to go or wherever. Like he was like, we'll get you where you want to go or whatever. And to me, I was just basically wanting him to be like Coach Lashley was and how Coach Horton was. Like, no, like we'll find a way for you to be on the team and have an impact on this team. And I had just basically sat on that thought for like months, and I still hadn't transferred. I still hadn't done anything. I was just still just going to class and kind of talking to Coach Lashley and those guys. And it just basically came down to the point where I was just like, yeah, I should just leave because there's no point in just waiting around. Nothing's gonna happen if I'm waiting around. So